Well, hello and welcome. Dobroho dnia. A very warm welcome to this short presentation on teaching excellence. My name is Dag Parkין and my role at Advanced HE is Principal Advisor for Leadership and Management. Thank you very much to the British Council Ukraine for inviting me to give me this opportunity to contribute to your Teaching and Learning Excellence Forum. It is really wonderful to connect again with colleagues in Ukraine. I have very proud and very happy memories of helping to facilitate the Ukraine Higher Education Leadership Development Programme from 2016 to 2019. So it's lovely to connect with you again. So teaching excellence. Excellence is in the eye of the beholder. So the first thing just to put across here is that there can be no excellent teaching unless there is excellent learning. The one defines the other. Excellence is in the eye of the beholder through the lens of learning. And there is a big difference between excellence as a claim and excellence as an experience. And that's important to keep in mind. But there is nothing wrong with excellence as an ambition, because that's the thing which takes us forward. So for this presentation, we're going to look at excellence through three lenses, and it's important that we do. First of all, the individual teaching practitioner. Secondly, the institution, and thirdly, the sector. So excellence as practice for the individual, excellence as culture within the institution, and excellence as a currency across the sector. And if we only think about excellence in terms of the individual, then we skew the whole thing. A system needs to be in place within which excellence can flourish, a system at an institutional and a sector-wide level. And that system needs to bring with it the leadership of collective commitment. So three lenses: individual, institution and sector, and we'll take a look at each of those. So a few words about excellence itself to begin with. The best something can be, surpassing others. Perhaps, if you like, a kind of dictionary definition of excellence. A desired end state which we never quite achieve. So almost excellence as a human value, a desired end state that leads us on, the desire to excel, the deep roots of our human motivation, to excel, to become the best that we can be, to self-actualize. The aspirational basis for continuous improvement. Now, goals matter in business, in communities, in education. Goals matter. If we don't know where we're going, any path will do. So excellence as an aspirational basis that we can continuously strive towards as we look to improve teaching, as we look to improve the quality of the student learning experience. And yes, an overused term that's lost its meaning. And that's certainly been the feeling for some colleagues in the UK higher education system. A great deal of use over many years of this term excellence, to the point where people begin to ask, what does this really mean? Is it just creating an unnecessary sense of pressure? Do we have a real vision and purpose about what this is? And within any organisation, a commitment to something like excellence or quality that's then only matched by marginal or less inspiring products and services will quickly dilute the very notion of excellence. So we need to be precise in what we mean when we use such a term. And there you have a quote from Ed Catmull. Ed Catmull, one of the co-founders of the animation company Pixar that is now part of the Walt Disney Group. Excellence must be an earned word. So not excellence as claim, but excellence as experience. So let's use and enjoy a metaphor, an analogy, if you like. And here we have a pair of shoes that we're going to use as a metaphor. So are these shoes excellent? Are they excellent? Well, let me see through the eye of the beholder. Through the eye of the beholder. Well, they are made of the finest materials, and they're tailored by the most eminent cobblers. So the very finest materials go into these shoes. And they're the right fit for me. Not for anyone else, but they're the right fit for me. They fit me really nicely and meet my needs. They've been tailored. They've been tailored and crafted with my needs in mind, with my size, with my style, with everything that I need in mind. They come with a very strong and prestigious brand, highly regarded, very fashionable brand. And that brand is important to me because the label matters. The label really matters. They're flexible. They're flexible. They're not just rigid and solid. They're flexible. They move to match my movement. They're flexible. They're fit for purpose. So you know what? I need these shoes to go running. I need these shoes for running in. That's the kind of shoe that I need. They're fit for the purpose that I need them for. And they've been delivered with care and love. The people who put these shoes together, selected them for me, have been looking not just to please me, but to really delight me. And finally, just about finally, they will take me where I need to go. So thinking about the outcome, the destination, my success, these students will take me where I need to go. And very last of all, the price is right. I can afford them. The price is right. So a metaphor of excellence, and we could apply all of that to learning and teaching and student experience. Great materials, a really good fit for the student, carefully tailored. The brand may matter to some students. Flexibility, fit for the purpose that I need them for. Not one thing, not another, but my needs, delivered with real care, attention and love. And they'll take me where I need to go in terms of employability, outcomes, success and destination. And yes, the price needs to be right as well within whatever system that may be. And yeah, through the eye of the beholder. And this is from a paper by the late Professor Lewis Elton, and still an extremely good paper in terms of thinking about excellence in university teaching. Looked at from the learner's point of view, only such teaching as can produce excellent learning can actually lay claim to excellence. So teaching is for the other before it is for the self. There can only be excellent teaching if there is excellent learning. A little illustration, this balance between teaching and learning that I like to use is simply to do with tying shoes. And the first voice, the voice in blue there, is a voice of frustration. I taught them how to tie their shoes, but they still can't do it. And the second voice is the voice of someone supporting learning. I helped them learn how to tie their shoes, and they've been doing it ever since. The responsibility moves to the learner, and I facilitate the process. Okay, let's come to this model and look at each one carefully. So the three lenses, once again: individual, institution, and then sector. Excellence as practice for the individual, excellence as culture within the institution, and excellence as a currency across the sector. And a quote from Ralph Marston in the middle there: excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. It's a commitment and a belief. There are lots of skills that help us to achieve quality, but excellence is an individual and collective commitment that propels us there, that's empowered by leadership, by and through leadership. So individual, let's just take a look at a couple of ideas to do with each of those in the time that we have. So excellence as practice, and here are some thoughts about good practice. It encourages student-faculty contact, that relationship. It encourages cooperation amongst students, that relationship. It encourages active learning. It gives prompt, timely, useful feedback. It emphasises time on task, so learning through doing. It communicates really high expectations, our belief in efficacy and the student's abilities to succeed. It promotes and respects diverse talents and ways of learning. A wonderful list. And just to look at the dates highlighted in red there, 1987. These are the things we've known about good practice for 30 years, and in fact for a good deal longer. So in terms of excellence, our responsibility is to build and renew that good practice with each generation of teaching practitioners. The last good practice I've cheekily added myself. It values reflective practice and development. And to teach with care. To teach with care. The C, care and compassion. People won't care what you know until they know that you care. People won't care what you know until they know that you care. Does my tutor have a genuine concern for me? Does my tutor know my name? Does my tutor include me? A, to ask and then listen. And this is a quote from Arthur Carron and Robert Sund, going right back to 1971. The questions a teacher asks can make the difference between an antiquated wasteland and an exciting learning environment. Next, R for reality. Make the learning real. Make the learning real. Bring the outside in. Developing work-ready graduates. Real, authentic learning based on real-world problem-solving skills. And then lastly, E, to explore before explaining. The opportunity to explore before the explanation comes. And here's another quote from Thomas Schul, and this takes us back to 1986. It is helpful to remember that what the student is actually more important in determining what is learned than what the teacher does. So what the student does should come first. Okay, so teaching with care. Okay, let's move to the second of these three lenses, to the institution and excellence as a culture. Excellence as a culture. So excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. Those words from Ralph Marston we saw on the previous slide. So there are many skills that we can practice and we can learn and we can develop that enhance quality, but excellence is a fundamental individual and collective commitment. So in institutions, there can be strong management systems, systems, standards, processes, frameworks that help to assure quality. But over and above that, we need inspiring and empowering leadership to propel us towards excellence. So to really achieve excellence as a culture at an institutional level, we need to create that an environment where others can succeed. So what is your educational philosophy? And what are you doing to really bring that to life? What is your educational philosophy, and what are you doing to bring that to life across the institution, within departments and on individual programs and modules? And without that life, all you're left with is that well-managed environment that may not inspire. And another thing to do with culture, so excellence as culture, does it do what it says on the tin? Does it do what it says on the label? So fine words are simply not enough when it comes to culture, particularly a culture of excellence. We don't believe what we're told, we believe what we see, feel, hear and experience. So with a learning and teaching culture, it may say students are at the heart of everything we do, but what actually matters is the reality, the lived experience of the students themselves. So in terms of culture, don't tell me, show me. And sustainable transformational change is both cultural and emergent. It emerges from the culture. A key message then for senior leaders: if you want to achieve teaching excellence, focus on the culture. Things like teachers feeling empowered to take risks, actively encouraging creativity, giving people the tools that they need, rewarding success, and developing a teaching faculty that takes a real sense of pride and enjoyment in achievement. Okay, does it do what it says on the tin? Let's finish by looking at the institutional level. So, excellence as a currency. Excellence as a currency. And this brings us to the fundamental question, and a long-lasting question: what is higher education for? What is higher education for? Because excellence must be framed around purpose at the sector level. What is the purpose? Is higher education delivering what we need and what we wish for? Culturally, economically, politically, socially, environmentally, all of those considerations. And how well aligned is excellence to the individual and excellence to society? Now, as this lovely 4-quadrant model illustrates, and I won't talk you through it all, this is from the former Department for Business, Innovation and Skills in the UK. And it's a lovely, elegant model, because on the one hand, we have benefits to society. On the other hand, we have benefits to the individual. We have benefits that are expressed in terms of the market, perhaps financial benefits, and then other benefits that are non-financial, possibly more virtuous benefits, you might say, and expressing those. So the purpose of higher education will not be one thing. It will be a combination of factors that match the context and the environment. But at a sector level, we can only frame excellence as a currency if we have an understanding of the purpose we want education to serve. As a currency, we also need to think about consistency. Consistency across the corners of our sector. So does a subject level degree in one institution at a particular level match the same degree at the same level in another institution? Have you got that crossover? And does the quality of the student learning experience point towards the same kind of excellence in every corner of your higher education sector? Don't get me wrong, these are hard things to achieve. They're challenging things, but this is what is meant by excellence as a currency at a sector level. So lastly on this, everybody needs a framework. Everybody needs a framework. Frameworks that can capture and express this currency and also structure and safeguard excellence and purpose within it. So in the UK, we have examples here. We have examples of frameworks that work at an individual level for the individual teaching practitioner. Frameworks that work at an institutional level in terms of helping to support and assure quality, and then frameworks that operate at a sector level. And you can see at a sector level the teaching excellence and student outcomes framework, the TEF as it's known, that's actually expressed in terms of bronze, silver and gold awards, the kind of awards we would associate with competitive activities or environments. But it was actually put in place as a system to help to better support and enable student choice. So once we have a purpose that excellence is going to serve, we need frameworks to capture and express that framework and then to safeguard that purpose within it. So there we are. 3 lenses: the individual, the institution and the sector. Excellence as practice for the individual teaching practitioner. Excellence as culture, a led culture, inspired and empowered within the institution. And then excellence as a currency across the sector we're operating in, with consistent frameworks that support and enable that. Okay, I'm going to finish with one final provocation for you and some words here from Seth Godin. In a new age of global challenges, a new age of global challenges, everything from climate change to infectious diseases to profound health inequalities to the rebalancing of global economic markets. All of this, these new global challenges, we need to support a new generation to go further and faster than ever before. And our job is obvious, as the quote says. Our job is obvious. We need to get out of the way, shine a light and empower a new generation to teach itself and to go further and faster than any generation ever has. And if you think about it, the skills learners are going to need for this future, we may not even know what those skills are yet. All we can do is open the doors to learning. Open the doors to learning. That is our duty, and that is where real excellence lies. So thank you very, very much indeed for listening. Dziękuję za uwagę. Thank you very much. Thank you once again to the British Council and others for making this amazing forum possible. And thank you to the 10 universities that have participated in the first year of the Teaching Excellence Programme in Ukraine. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Dziękuję. Thank you.